right? So message server will distribute the load based upon the groups, based upon the SMLZ groups. Message server will distribute the user request to the available application server. So if you are connecting to ACS, that will distribute the load here. So in SMLZ, we can find out in SMLZ we can find out so what's happening and what is the response time and all those things we can find out in the SMLG, in the SMLG transaction code. So we can find out all the information we can find out in the, so how many users are logged in and how many are active application servers and all those things we can see it here, right? We can see it here. Currently only one app server is enabled. So we here based upon the response time we can find out like how many are active and all those things we can find out in the systems here, right? So that is the message server details here. Suppose if I talk about the gateway work process, SMGW. So gateway work process is responsible for so gateway related things like security related things like gateway security. So in a home, how the gateway person in a home, how the SAP gateway SMGW. So how the so gateway security person, what the gateway security person is you will do. So normally when you gateway security person, what whenever any connection or any user, any connection, any user which is coming to your home, then definitely it will be recorded. It will come through gateway only, right? Definitely it will enter into the via gateway only here, right? So gateway is the main. So here the security person will do the necessary check normally in some of the homes. So if there is a in front of the gate there is a security person, what he will do, so he will whenever any person is coming to inside of the home, he will do the necessary checks, and so he will validate it. Then only he will allow the connections inside of the server here. The same as like in the gateway process here, same as like gateway process here. If if any connection which is coming from the outside of the SAP servers, like any other external servers or any other side of the SAP servers here, so what we have to do, just so gateway work process is so responsible to validate the connections, right? If any connection which is coming to the server, the gateway work process will validate. Gateway work process will validate it here, right? So here, suppose if any unwanted connection, why? Because sometimes what happens, the hackers are some unknown connections, so will trying to access or will trying to theft our data, will trying to theft the data here. So in that case, what will happen? The gateway work process will reject that connections here. Gateway work process will reject that connections here. So gateway work process will reject that connections. So that time, so we so gateway work process will reject that connections here. We can see that one here, right? So if you go to the SMGW, if you go to the SMGW here, so if you go to the SMGW here, so we can check the status of the gateway, how many connections are active, how many are external connections, how many are internal connections, what is the connection limit here in SMGW, we can see. Each application server by default, there are the 2000 connections are, there is a limitations here. If the 2001, if the limitation is over, then your system will not accept any connections here, right? So suppose like example, in a home capacity is 10 members, then 11th member is coming, then he has to wait, right? Same as like here also, he has to wait to log into the SAP system here. So sometimes there is a one more reason, if the users are unable to log into the SAP system means, so not only dialog work process, we need to check the maximum the connections limit, right? If the connection limit also over, then the gateway will not allow any connections here, but we can increase it. We can increase the connections here as per the kernel. So we can increase the kernel. So to 2000 to 4000, like that we can increase it here, right? So number of gateway logged on clients. So like that we can monitor. Here it will be displayed. If any external connections, that will be displayed here. Any connection which are coming from outside of the server, that will be displayed here. So right, currently we don't have any system, any connections here, right? Connect system to system, we don't have any connections which are talking to the NW1 system here, right? But here we can see it here, logged on clients means which are the system internal connections. System internal connections here. These are the system internal connections which we can see it here. Internal connections, we can see it here. What are the internal connections? So currently one connection, the remote gateway I logged in. So that connection is status is showing here, right? This is the gateway work process here. Gateway work process is responsible for normal gateway work process is used to so administration using this transaction code SMGW. We can do the administration of the gateway here, right? Gateway process here, right? So here, so we can identify the connections, host names, local, how many are running, what are the disconnections, all those things we can identify in the SMGW transaction code here. GW transaction code here. Suppose sometimes what we have to do, so suppose daily basis we have to come to the this transaction code and go to the logged on clients here. Go to the logged on clients here. In the logged on clients, there are the external connections will be displayed here. Here, if any connection is disconnecting or status is not okay, then what we have to do? We need to select the connection here. Then we need to delete it. We need to select it and delete the client here. Why? Because of disconnect. Sometimes what happens due to the some issues in the system, so it will be not okay, connection not okay, or disconnecting status. It will stuck in middle itself only, right? So then in that case, we need to cancel that connection here. We need to delete it. That connections we have to delete it here. We have to delete that connections here, right? That is what we have to do as a day-to-day as part of the our administration part, as part of the SAP administration part. We have to come to the as part of the SAP administration health check monitoring. SMGW transaction code is one of the, it will be used to monitor the gateway related connections here. So if any connections are disconnecting status are not okay, then we no need that connections. We can delete that connections here. We can delete that connections. We can delete it here. That is the gateway connections we will do here. Gateway monitoring here. Some companies they will go for the some external security also. Some customer they want to go for the external security. So means it's a some kind of some dangerous settings here, external security. But so sometimes what they will do here, they can go to and expert functions here, then external security, they will maintain the ACL files here, ACL files, which means some kind of dangerous settings here, which means if you change the settings, only the respective people will log into the system here, which means see here the secinfo reginfo files here. Here you can see this is the secinfo means users related information. This is the user related information here. So user related information we can see it here in the secinfo and reginfo. So users related information we can see it here, right? Users related information we can see it here, right? So if the user equals to star, which means it will accept the all the connections which are coming from the any user, they can log into the systems. Any user, they can log it to the system here. If you maintain the user equals to star here, user equals to star, you can maintain, again, we can change the status to the star equals to 1, right? If p is equal, p space user star, which means so all users are accepted. All user connections are accepted here, right? TP is equal to their laptop address and everything here. So user host, local host, and TP is equal to star. Suppose, sir, I want to give the restrict more. So I want restrict more here in the secinfo file. So what I have to do here means in the secinfo file here. So just to maintain the username equals to, maybe unfortunately if you change instead of star to, suppose like only if you change to the Ravi user, then only Ravi person can log into the system, no other people, right? That's why these are the some dangerous settings here. No one touch it here, right? Suppose TP is equal to, suppose sometimes what happens, the IP addresses which are starting from the 49 dot, so 49 dot or 192.192.168. So then the people, they have to log into our SAP system with the who are having this IP address here 190 to 168. Only those people can log into our SAP systems here. So no other people here, right? So that is the main thing here. So that's why these settings are some kind of some dangerous settings here. Why? Because some people, they have the different IP address, then they cannot connect to our SAP systems here. So some kind of, so more security features. These are the more security features. If they want to do it, then they can use this secinfo reginfo files here. Secinfo is file the kind of secinfo is a kind of like a, so users restriction. This is called the connections restriction. So which connections you want to keep it in the reginfo files, right? Which systems will we talk to the systems here, like that we can keep this one also reginfo file, means RFC destinations, we can program IDs and everything, we can maintain it in the reginfo file here. Here the reginfo file we can maintain all those things here, right? Secinfo, reginfo. Normally people won't change this one. Why? Because some kind of impact is there if you something is happens here. So where can we check in case of our in case of programs are disconnecting and everything, means if you go to the gateway display trace here, here you can see the all the information here. Here you can see the all the information here, whether the cells disconnecting or not, connected or not, you can see the error messages here, right? If you see the error messages here, normally if you don't configure the some external security things, so everybody can connect to the our servers. So everybody connect to the this SAP server here. So we can see the deny error here. If you configure something like that, so there is a deny. So there is a deny errors, we can see it here. There is a deny error, we can see it here. Deny error, we can see it here. But here we don't have anything here. Here we don't have any deny errors. Why? Because if you configure the, suppose if any connections are rejected, that time the trace will be activated. Trace will be activated. We can see the traces here. We can see the traces in the trace file here. This is the gateway trace file here, right? So gateway trace file here. So we can check the, if any errors or anything, we can check it out here. So SMGW is the transaction code. SMGW is the transaction code to monitor the gateway connections, only to check the active connections and everything here. In case of if any disconnection sessions or any connections which are not in the connection okay status, those things we can delete it. We can delete those connections here. That's we can do it in the systems here. That is the gateway work process, small gateway related work process here. Okay, small gateway related work process, we can see it here. Gateway related work process, we can see it there. Okay, so that is the gateway related things here. Okay, this is the gateway related things here. So so the next one is called the spool work process here. Spool. So these are the small transaction code, gateway, message server. The only these things we can see it. So spool is the some kind of important transaction code here. Spool transaction code here. So the spool transaction codes are the SP01, SP02, SP80, spool administration part here. These are the spool related transaction codes here. So here SP01, SP02 to check the spool request and everything here. So first of all, what is the use of the spool work process here? The spool work process is responsible for the printer's request here. So in case of if you want to do some printing from SAP, in the case of if you want to do some printing from SAP, we can use this spool work process. We can use it here. The spool work process will be used to print the request and everything here. right? Suppose you want to print something, every button, there is a print button is there here. You can see there is a control P. If you type it, then it will ask the print layout here. So what is the output device and everything? You can select it here. What is the device you want to configure? You can select the output device here. Then click on the OK button. Then the spool will be generated. The printer will be generated here. Sir, I want to add my printers here. Sometimes we may get the request to do the printing. Sometimes we may get the request to the add the printer devices. Add the printer devices here. Printer devices here. Printer devices. We want to add it here, right? Printer device types here, right? So here sometimes here, so like means we may get the request sometimes saying that, so please add this printer into the SAP, we want to print it. So all those things into the SAP systems here. So that time we have to go to the transaction code, is SPAD is the transaction code. There we need to add the output devices. There we have to go to the edit mode, click on the plus symbol. Then we need to add the output devices here. Output devices here. Here we need to add the printer name, like suppose like office printer. So office fourth floor printer. Then short name here. So office fourth floor printer. So short name. So means office fourth floor printer you are adding here, right? Office. So fourth floor printer you are adding here, right? So means you are adding a new printer into the your SAP system here. In case of printer already there, then we can print it out. There is a button here. You can see print every time. There is a control P. If you type it, that will take the print here. Control P. If you type it out, that will give the printout here in the SAP system. Sometimes what happens? So we may have to do the some employee related information prints, some structures, purchase order. So those printouts we have to do it appraisals. So all those things we may have to do the some prints from the SAP systems here. So in case of if you are using during the appraisal, so you may have to multiple things we have to do it, right? So then in this case, if in case we are using the SAP system, the data will be stored into the SAP system. You want to print it out. Then in this case, so that print functionalities are possible in the SAP system here. So here, so you can choose here we can, so you can create the, we can add the new printers into the SAP system here. New printers we can add to the SAP system here, right? So how to add it means there is a SPAD, Spool Administration Transaction Code. Go to the output devices here, click on the change, then click on the create button here, right? Here you can type the printer name. So any printer name you can provide it here, right? Short name, anything, that is fine. So which printer? When you purchase the printer from the either Amazon or shop, so then your printer has some name, right? Brother printer, Canon printer, Zebra printer, SP printer, Dell, Epson. There are a lot of printers are there here in the SAP systems, right? So just check what is the type of the printer you are using here, right? Spool server means spool work process in which in where you have the spool work process are there here. Here we have the spool work process here, right? So what is the printer model? So every printer there is a model, right? Suppose like printer model A1 to something like that, there is a model, right? Then location of the printer, right? So you can type all those things, we need to type it here, right? Then access methods here. Access methods are very important here. Printer access methods here, right? Printer access method here, right? Printer access methods, right? Printer access methods SAP, right? This is the, so some kind of important step here, access methods, right? So they are the types of access methods are there in SAP systems here. They are the types of access methods are there in SAP system here. So here, see here, so access methods means, so printer, so access methods here, access types. So here, what we have here, so either Windows, we have the one thing, and so there are the three types of access methods here. So local printing methods. Okay. So remote printing, and so front end printing here, right? Front end printing here, local and so remote and front end printing here. So front-end printing means we need to use the F. So there is a symbol. If your printer is like front-end printer, then you can use the F. Front-end printer means in case of your laptop already configured the some of the output office output devices. So we need to use the this methods we have to use it here, right? This methods we have to use it here, right? So then local printing here, local printing here. In the local printing, suppose like local printing, right? Local printing, if you are local printing means your SAP system and your SAP spool work process and print server, spool work process and print server here. So both are in the Windows, every system, see here. So every system here, suppose example, local printing, which means your SAP work process, there is a print spooler here, print spooler here. There is print spooler process here, spooler process, spooler, yeah. Print spooler process here, print spooler process here. So your SAP and this print spooler, this is will come by default as part of your operating system installer. The spooler will come by default here. If the both are running on the same operating system or window, so local means if the both are running on the same operating system, your print spooler and your SAP system work process, spool work process, both are running in the same operating system, then that is called the local. The local also, if the both are Windows, then you can choose the C. Both are Windows, you can choose the C. If Windows, you can use the C. Type C, we have to use it here. Then the Linux, if it is the Linux here, we can use the, so if it is the Linux, right? Why? Because sometimes what happens here, you are local, both are local here, right? Both are local here. So SAP and your SAP and everything is running on here. SAP and everything is running on the here, right? So if the both are Windows operating Windows, then we can use the C. Windows means we can use the, so this C method we have to use it here, right? Method C we have to use it here. So method C we have to use it here, right? So method C we have to use it in the system here, right? Local operating system. So it is the Windows C. L for if it is a Linux system, we need to use the L, right? So means your, so different operating systems, then we have to use the, so L. In the same operating system, we have to use the Windows operating system, then we have to use the C. Okay, type C we have to use it. So whenever you are adding the printer, first we need to check the your SAP system and your spooler, print spooler are running on the Windows. If the print spooler is running on the Windows, then we need to choose the, so C. If it is the Linux, then we need to choose on the print C is L. We have to choose it here. L we have to choose it here. That is the local. That is the local. So local printing here, right? Local. So printing method, local printing, we have to use it here. C. So C means it's a Windows OS here, right? If the Windows OS of the server and printer also, that is running on C, we have to select it here. L means, so that is the Unix system here, Unix. For Unix system here, if it is the Unix, then that is Unix and local, that is you need to choose the, so here. So local means both are running on the same operating system. Same operating system means two types of operating systems, Windows and Linux. If it is the Windows, C, it is the Linux, L, we have to use it. That is the main use case here, right? Then remote printing here. Remote printing means here, the remote printing here. The remote printing here, if it is the Windows, yes, we have to use it here. If it is a yes, we have to use it here, which means when printer is connected to the SAP system via remote printer, remote server, remote printer. So we have to use that one here. Remote printer, you have to use it here. Then it is the Unix server, then we have to use the U. U means, so Unix server, we have to use it here. Different host, we have to use it here. These are the some So front-end types methods are there here. Local methods, remote, and front-end. Local, remote. So remote here. Local. Your SAP system and your print spooler. Both are running on the same, that is the local. SAP is running on the one host and your print spooler is running on the one host, then we need is called the remote printing. Front-end printing means, so suppose here, front-end printing means, suppose here what will happen, your some printers already configured in your laptops as part of the office laptop, office team, office IT team, they will already configure. You want to use those prints for printing, then that is called the front-end printing. You can use it here. The Windows, Linux, right? Those are the, so the printer access methods we have here. So currently our SAP system is running on the KP Online. Then here we are running on the, so this one. Then we can use the yes. Yes is for the, we can use this one, SAP protocol. Then here it will ask the host printer, the printer host name, host printer here. Where is the printer located, right? So I can see we don't have any printer. Just I'm giving the dummy printer here. So just a dummy printer I am giving here. The destination host is like a, so some dummy things I am giving here. Okay, we don't have any printer. If the printer is there, that is connected to the my network, that printer has the network host name. That printer has the some host name. Then we can insert the printer details and everything here, right? Go to the output attributes here. So what type of printing here? Is it color printer? Then select how you want to print it. You want to print the paper in one side or both the side or reverse order. How you want to print it out? You can tray. So you can check the tray information also here. In the tray one, what is the format? Tray two, what is the format? Like that, you can also set the format. Otherwise, it will take the default option here. Here, main thing is the, so types of printing mode here, then access methods here. So either, so you can see here, C, Windows operating system. So these are the external output system. F means front end printer or front-end printing here. G means front-end printing. FRG front-end printing only we will use it here. Archiving device, right? Email to receiver. You want to send the email to the receiver with this attachment, print attachment, then you can use this one here, right? So then we have the types are there here. We can use these types when you are creating the printer here. So mainly these are the types they mainly use it here. If it's a local remote printing, either any one we can use to connect to the, we can use to connect to the printer access methods here, right? That is the main thing here, right? So here we need to suppose like ours is the yes. Why? Because SAP system is running on the, so our KP online, then means where the spool work process is running, and here our host printer means Spooler is running on the KPGem server here. I created the printer here. Then, so printer has been created here. You see, unable to reach.
Sir, we have to make RFC connection before remote printing, right?
No, not required. Why RFC
Okay.
connection here? Where you are giving the RFC connection details here? Just you have to provide the IP addresses or the printer host details you have to provide it. The printer should be reachable. So then that time you can just add the printer details here. Just add the printer details here. Then if you want to print some documents or something, right? So what you have to do? So suppose like you want to print something here. I want to print this home page. Then in this case, there is a print icon here, right? Just click on the print here. I want to print the access menu. Then what I have to do, I need to select the printer device. What is the printer device here, which you created now? That is office printer. Then you want to print immediately, right? I want to print all the pages or specific pages here. You can select it. Number of copies, how many you required? Two. Normally, when you go to the print shop, you will fill this form, right? Whenever Control P, you will fill this form. Then click on the, so okay. Then there is a number will be generated, the print number will be generated. It's called the 11904, right? Suppose, sir, why this number is generated means a request has been created that is forwarded to your printer. In case of really your printer is available in your home, definitely you will get the print from the your printer. Well, definitely you will get the printout from the your printer here. One paper you will get from the printer here. So, sir, how to check? Well, because printers are SAP system is in a different region. The printer is in the my home, but I can check it out here whether the prints are successful or not here. Here you can check in the SP01. We go to the SP01 here. Here we can check the request. We can check the request here whether printers are request successfully printed or not, right? Otherwise, you want to check the all the prints whoever created. Then you can check the all the prints here. All the prints here. See here, our printer is a waiting status here, waiting for the printer, right? So waiting, output devices are unavailable. So which means a spool work process processing, but there is no printer in your home. There is no printer here. KP online one is cannot be reached. Means there is a service is should be running here, right? That is not there. So printer is not reachable or there is no real printer, first of all. That is the reason. So we have this printer got waiting status here, waiting status here, which means waiting for the output devices. After some time, it will go to the error status here. So SP01, you can check the your user, or you can also not only your user, you can also check the other users as well here. So SP02 is only for the your user related print request. You can see it here. Only your user related print request, you can see it. Now I want to check the other users. Then you can go to the SP01. What is the other user? Suppose like DDIC. Then check that one. Click on the OK button. The DDIC related request will be displayed here, right? I want to check the some different user. Then you can check it out. If you give star, all users details will be displayed here. If you give star here, all users details will be displayed here. That is the thing here, right? That is the waiting status. Currently, you see, this is the waiting status here. So which means it will wait for some time, then automatically it will go to the error status here. The print is not going to the printer. Why? Because there is no printer, just a dummy printer we have given. What is the device name? This is the one. What is the log? What is the log it is showing here? So who is the responsible to process these prints and everything here? There is a spool work process here. There is a spool work process which is responsible to process the all the print request and everything here. So spool work process here. So spool work process will process the all the print request and everything in the systems here, right? Suppose if I change that, what I will do, I will change the printer devices to the front end printing, front end. Okay, front end means which is refer the my laptop details and everything here. So what I will do here, I change the device type here. Then I want to print something here. So I want to print something here. Then, so suppose like I want to print the this logical systems and everything here. Then, so just click on the print button, right? So there is a print button here. Sorry, print button here. Then what is the printer name? So just select the printer name here. I want to print immediately. Okay. What will happen? It will refer. In my laptop, there are some printers are there. See here, there is a printer is there. I configured as a print to PDF option. Then there is a PDF option is generating here. PDF option is generating here, which means the paper, the PDF got generated. In my laptop, there is a printers which configured as a notebook printers are there, which means it's a print to PDF option. So I want to check. It's a 903, right? Then if you go to the SP01 here, SP01 here, here it's completed. It's a completed here. Why? Because why it is completed means, so it's referred to the my laptop. In my laptop, there is a printers are there here. The printer name is called the print to PDF I generated somewhere. So then it got generated. It got created. The print to PDF got created So it is completed status, which means it's probably printed. So it's that got processed here, right? So in my laptop settings, why? Because it will refer the your laptop settings here. It will refer the your laptop settings here. It will refer the your laptop settings here, right? So whatever the laptop, why? Because print and printer means in your laptop, local laptop, whatever the printers are there. See here, the documents field. I preferred here. In the documents field, I got it here, right? So just so logical. Then if you go to the here, so logical print got generated here, right? So print got generated here. The print to PDF got generated, which means it's a printed. The printer request got printed here. It got printed here, right? So which means completed. So in our SAP system, so if anything want to print from SAP, any documents or anything, you can use the printer here. The spool work process will be used here. The spool work process will be used. You can see it here. The process by the spool work process is completed. The spool means it will handle the printer request. So SP01, SP02, we can check the logs here. If you want to add the new printers, suppose we may get the sometime printers, office printers, new printers and everything, then we can go to the SPAD, we can add the printers here. SPAD, we can add the printers here. In SPAD, we can add the printers here, right? That is what we can do it in the systems here. SPAD, we can add the printers. Okay, that is what we can see here, printers. Okay, so sir, SAP only printing purpose we are using here, not only printing purpose here, in the airports, in the shopping malls, wherever possibilities are there, we can SAP print, SAP spool work process will process. They will use the spool work process here, not only just to so shopping mall and all those things here. So if you type it here, so in the all over market, SAP prints, we can also use the so label printing, so label printing also they will use the SAP here. In the bottles, they will use the label printings, material label printings, they will use all those things here, right? So those things they will get the requests, labels creation, everything they will functional team will take it, but our duty is so configuring the output here, configuring the how to configure all those things here. So we can do that one here. So we have to go to the SPAD, then we will get the requirement. What is the device type here? Then what is the output device type here? Then what is the printer host name? What type of printer? Where it is there? What is the printer model? Printer location? All the information we will get. So we have to add the our printers in the here. Then we can take it further. That is the so printers related thing here, right? Some companies they won't use any printer, so there is no use of the spool work process here. Some companies they extensionally they will use the printers. Suppose like if it's the product based company, shopping malls, if you go to the any other marts, then they will use the barcode scanner. So barcode scanners and everything. So those are the SAP. So the barcode scanner. So those are the SAP will do that one. SAP will print this or barcode scanner and scanning the machines and everything. The mobile, they will use the mobile scanning the UEFI app. So mobile barcode scanning here. Suppose if you want to see the some of the apps here, how they will so scan the mobile side, you can see.
BCC Distribution Incorporated is a leader in developing Zebra RF scanning and barcode printing equipment, along with software and services to distribution and manufacturing companies running SAP ECC 6.0 or S/4HANA software. BCCD's goal is to optimize inventory accuracies and efficiencies within a warehouse and
So in the factories, and they will use these scanners to scan, and the data will be updated into the our SAP systems here remotely. So in the shopping malls also we can see it here, right? So it's not only just to only SAP level. So in the many places here in the airports, the bag checking counters and R code bag scanning server. So there are the many places here. They will use the SAP printers. They will use it here. It's just only not only here, just many places they will use the so this
Do you-
printer.
You feel like a puppet in your boss's hands? Are you
Let me show you one more thing. See, some companies, cargo, these companies, Some companies, they will use SAP only. Only their printing purpose, they will use the SAP. See here, delivery invoices and everything. So they are trying to print from SAP, right? The coding, the barcode print, how they are scanning from SAP here, right? They have opened the SAP system here, right? You can see. Let me move it. So then open the goods receipt and everything here. Then then they got the printer from the barcode they got from the SAP. See here, the barcode, they will take it out and they will attach to the goods, right? See here, delivery. We got it from SAP. So many places, it's not only just only SAP side printing, sir. That's fine, right? So it's not only SAP side printing. The many places, they will use the SAP here. The airports, the bag checking, counters. So there are a lot of things we have to do it from our side configuration. Functional team will do that type of goods printing, but they will ask finally, they will come to our part here. IB system, could you please configure add the devices or printers in SAP system here? Then they will provide the printer details, all the details here. Then we need to check provide the printer name and printer device name. What is the type of printer here? Is it Canon, Jabra, Xmark? So there's a lot of Sharp, Samsung, Xerox, many things are there. So we can configure it here. Then is it color printer or not? So then what is the location of the printer? So then what is the access methods? What is the access methods here, right? So then what is the type of the printing they want to do it? They have configured already in the printer. We have to ask these questions. Otherwise, they will tell you, right? So it is the Windows or Linux, SAP system is running on the Windows or Linux system, based on that, we can select these printers here, right? The host printer, every printer, there is a host name and that printer host name, you have to choose it here. So is it color printer? Yes. So how they want to print it here, reverse order or document. So reverse order or double side or reverse order, we need to provide all the details here. Then so just save it here. Then people will start using all these printers and everything here, right? All these printers they will start using in the printers here. This is a spool administration. So the mainly what we have to check is if anything wrong, the spool printouts are sometimes what will happen, prints will not come from the printer. The people are saying that they will complain like, sir, printers, my prints are not coming from the printer, something like that. That time we need to check. So whether the spool work process is waiting status or start status, then whether the printer is available or not, whether the papers are there in the printers, is there any connection issue between the SAP and the printers? So those things we need to check. Those things we need to check it out in the systems here. Either printer is locked or not. So then we can check it out. All the information we can check in the system here. Whether the printer, sometimes what happen, printer will be locked from. So printer is locked, then the prints will not come, right? So that is the main thing here. We need to check in the systems here, right? So that is the printers related thing. It will be handled by your spool work process here. Spool work process here, right? So this is about the last work process in the work process administration here. We discussed about the dialog, update, NQ. The NQ means the locking mechanism and everything. The background, gateway, DV, EV, G, S here. S1 speed. G means security, gateway work process here, right? Dialog, update, NQ. So these are the work process related information. Dispatcher, dispatching the request, right? So the ICM and IGS will come separately. So for here mainly you need to learn about the work process and you need to practice the work process related transaction codes and everything here. Okay, that is the work process related information. Okay, any questions?